Legacy, man. My oldest brother Dan does have a girl, so
All right.
it is possible, is what we found out. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm 3 for 3. We'll see what happens when the other brothers start having kids. Maybe they'll have all just straight girls. We'll
All the
see.
girls. Yeah, I got a boy and a girl, and it's a good combination. You got a little bit of both sides. So,
Oh,
um,
absolutely. My
and
wife's dying. My wife's dying for a girl, but
uh,
see what
well,
happens.
I've seen so far that boys are a little bit more crazy and daring, and my boy's only a year and a half, but he's already destroying everything and breaking everything.
Oh yeah, man. My house is a mess. If I turn my camera around, you'd be like, "Yep, you
And,
got boys."
yeah. Awesome. Well, first of all, I wanted to thank you for taking the time and talking to me here. I know like you said, you got a busy schedule, so I appreciate it. Second thing I wanted to tell was, what I've been doing here, just very quickly. I have a big following on Instagram, as you know, and then, what I've been doing is I've been doing local videos with local business owners here in Naples, Florida, Southwest
Hmm.
Florida, where I live. Just to kind of help them with their businesses and hopefully get more customers at the door for them. And then normally on the weekends, what I have is I have someone from either the entertainment business or an athlete, former athlete, to kind of come in and give my followers a little bit of a treat, right? And obviously we follow each other a lot. We comment on each other a lot. And I said, I think this is a good opportunity for people to learn a little bit more about you from, your past and what you're doing currently. So that's kind of what I'm hoping to achieve here. So I'll let you kind of introduce yourself and tell us a little bit from, who Chris is and where you're from and how'd you get where you are right now.
I like it, man. So you're in Naples. My mom's in Fort Myers, so she's
I
right
know.
there with you, man. So
Yeah.
we're down there all the time. But no, Chris Gronkowski, born and raised in Buffalo, New York, middle of the five Gronkowski brothers. So I'm bro number 3. But yeah, man, it was growing up in that household where it was just mayhem. 5 boys. We were that house that everybody came to. So it wasn't just us 5. It was us 5 plus 1 or 2 friends that we each had. So we were that house. And all day, every day was competitions, competing in backyard baseball, mini sticks in the basement. Who could eat the most food? I mean, anything you could think of, we competed in, and that we fought over too. So always ended in a brawl, and was always something going down, man. So from there, let's see, 4 out of the 5 brothers ended up going to the NFL. The oldest brother, Gordy, never played football, so he still thinks he could be this all-pro tight end, but he never tried, so we're not sure. He went on to play baseball and was freshman All-American and all that as well. So it's a pretty cool story that all 5 of us were able to make it to the pro level. And I ended up playing for 3 different teams: Cowboys, Broncos, Colts. Played in 34 games, and I got a touchdown. I got some catches from Peyton Manning, so I'm happy, man. It was a good career for me. 3 years, started as a fullback, and I was able to get pension, 401k, all the benefits, all that. And that was for the guy that was, the 3rd best player in his own family. So never thought I'd have a chance. And, it ended up being a great start for me financially, and then use that money to start growing businesses. So the first one is actually a personalization company my wife started. And she started it because she was sick of going to a new city every year. So the 3rd year in, I was with the Broncos, and she's like, "I am not finding a new job. Like, this is torture. Everywhere I go, I have to find a new job." So she started this company, and it did really well. It was customization, and it was online. It was through Etsy's platform for the most part at first. And when I got done playing, I used some of my money to invest into commercial grade laser engravers and CNC machines, and just took off. So that's actually what I'm doing today. Been up since 4 a.m. and I was engraving knives this morning. Came back for a run, got the kids up. We're doing like the at-home lessons now, and then kids went over to grandma's, and we're both back up there engraving pocket knives right now. These pocket knives that for Father's Day are huge. They're pretty cool because people actually use them, and you can engrave them with whatever you want. So a lot of them will just say like, "Hey, Dad, love you so much. Happy Father's Day, 2020," stuff like that. So. But yeah, that business has done really well. And then kind of my wife's passion. So I came up with the idea when I was helping her. I was about 5 years into that for the ice shaker. So that was just from going to the gym all the time, all day, every day. It was hot, super hot in Texas. And I got to the gym and I had a plastic bottle. And I was like, man, this thing sucks. Like, there's got to be something better out there. And that's kind of where that started. And it really was a passion of mine. and started as a side hustle. We were able to get onto Shark Tank, get an offer from all 5 sharks, close the deal with Mark Cuban and Alex Rodriguez, and then from there it was just, it was a rocket ship. It is what they say it is. Shark Tank's the real deal. The investment does come in. The exposure is huge, and the biggest thing is proof of concept as well. Go on there and get an offer from all 5 sharks. Everyone watching is like, I need that product too. It's got to be legit, right? Yeah. So that was absolutely huge for us, and went from one bottle, one color, one size. That's all we had at the time when we aired, to having we've released over 150 different SKUs now, and 6 or 7 actual different bottle types. So it's been a good run, and we're in GNC, Lifetime Fitness, Vitamin Shop, and all those are kind of on hold right now. But most of our product is still sold on our website, just B2C.
Awesome.
And there's my dogs barking.
He wants some attention too, or he or she wants some attention too.
Oh yeah, every time someone walks by, there's a lot of people walking by now, man, because everyone's just trying to get out of the house.
Yeah. I was going to ask, how was that transition from sort of going from a pro player to kind of own your business? I know there's a lot of support out there for that, but then there's also a lot of people that struggle with that, right? People that have in their minds that they want to be a football player, that they become a football player, but then transitioning to regular life, let's put it that way, it's a little bit of a challenge. How was it for you?
Man, that is the hardest part for everybody, and it's not just football. I mean, you see it with the military all the time too. Yeah. We do work pretty close with military, and we donate a lot of bottles as well to active military. But you see that because that's all you've done your whole life. You train for that. It's every single day. I mean, I played football since I was in high school. So it wasn't just the NFL for 4 years. I played 5 years in college. I played 4 years in high school before that. So that's a long time, and that's all you're doing. For me, I got super lucky, man. My wife started that business, and I flowed right into it. And I was making more money my first year out of the NFL than I was playing. So it almost like super rare, almost never happens. Got super lucky from it. But what you miss the most still, and everybody I talk to, is just that team feel. Yeah. You now become, you're an individual person, and I think a lot of people miss that. You miss that one goal, one mission, and so I try to find that in business now, and that's kind of how we work now as a team. Everyone's doing the same thing, but man, guys struggle. I have teammates. I've been done for a while now, and there's players that I talk to, and they're still trying to figure it out. And you go from you get paid weekly in the NFL, and those checks are like there's some good money, man. Even as someone that was making minimum. My minimum wage in the NFL was still like $30,000 a week. Yeah. So, you go from $30,000 a week to working, say, $50,000 a year. Yeah. It's tough. And if you're a big time player, you're not making $30,000 a week. You're making $300K a week. Yeah. And, to leave that and then completely start over. And, most companies, they don't want a guy that's, 26 years old with really no skill set besides playing football. That's tough. Yeah. So, you start low, or you have to do your own thing. But you're doing your own thing, and you don't really know what you're doing because, man, you haven't done it. Yeah, you haven't done it yet. And so that was kind of, anything you build from the ground up is hard, man. Yeah. A lot of people tell me like, oh, it must have been nice that you had a following and all this for the shaker bottle. Man, I posted the first day. I actually had the product in stock. I sold 0 bottles. I mean, it's something that people don't know. They never heard of. They don't trust it. And nowadays, I mean, people are promoting everything. And so half the time they're like, man, this guy's just promoting it because he's getting paid to do it. So it was tough, man. And anything that's built from the ground up, it is tough, man. It takes a ton of work, and it's an absolute grind. But, the NFL also helped me transition to that because I was used to working those long hours, man. I was used to that grind. And, even playing a sport, people think it's a sport. They think it's for fun. At the end of the day, man, you're there early. You're not just on the field. You're studying a playbook. You're making sure you know all the plays, and man, everything from college on too. It's all about the mental game as much as the physical game as well. So, took all the skill sets I learned in football and really transitioned that into business.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, and I as we've talked before, I have a lot of followers from football players all around the world, right? And that's kind of a message that I always try to bring to them. Something you just said, football or playing a sport, let's just say, not even football. It's not just about going to the gym and working out and doing that. There's a whole studying. There's much more hours than 1 hour a day to go to the gym, right? If you want to succeed, you have to do a lot more than going to the gym once a day, right? For an hour. So, I wanted to ask about the product itself. I've seen obviously a lot of videos that you post. I've seen some videos that are out there in the internet, but I was kind of hoping that you can kind of tell us a little bit what differentiates the bottle that you have from other ones.
For sure, man. Let me see if this one. Let's see. Yeah, I'll use one. I mean, there's water in it now, so what we got is it's a kitchen grade stainless steel bottle. So you've seen them on the market before, though. There's other bottles that are insulated. When I started this, and still pretty much to this day, is the thing is that I wanted a bottle that I could use all day, every day for everything. Oh, there was insulated bottles out there at the time, but you couldn't mix anything in them. So there's no way to blend them. A lot of them that had these little holes, and you couldn't even put ice in them, or you had to use a special brush to clean it. And I'm like, man, I want a cup that I can use all day, every day for everything I do. So if I go to the gym and I want to mix something, I can. If I'm just at the office, I want water. I just want a water bottle. If I'm traveling, I want it to fit in my bag. So that was kind of the whole goal. One bottle I can use all day. And when I'm at home, I actually use it like this, and man, I can fill up anything. I mean, people put beer in it. I chug cold beer all day. I mean, it works great for that too. Floats in the pool, so it does it all. But what's cool about it is it has this handle on it, so it's super easy to carry. It's going to snap down if you're not using it. So the pop top, same thing, super easy to open, snaps down, double click, so it's not going to open your bag. But really what separates us is this agitator as well. So this will twist right off. And what it does, and the main purpose, is to break up powders. But a lot of people will also use it to fruit infuse their drink. It will actually be silent when you're shaking it as well. So you don't have a metal ball inside of a metal cup annoying the hell out of everybody in your office. And it also works as a strainer. So if you like to party, you can actually put ice in your cup, whatever in it, and then you can pour it. And you can pour shots without getting ice into your shot glass too. Nice. So it's kind of like a beginner's cocktail shaker as well, which is pretty cool. But every bottle is kitchen grade stainless. So, we have all the different colors, but the inside you're going to see it's stainless, has measurement markings inside of it as well. So it's not going to sweat. It's vacuum insulated. So the purpose, and what that actually means, because I don't think most people know, but there's 2 layers of metal. And then on the bottom, they actually suck the air out of it. And what it does is it creates a vacuum between the 2 walls, and heat and cold cannot transfer through, a vacuum, space that's vacuum. So really the only way it loses heat and cold is through the top, because the top is plastic. So if you fill it with just ice, it'll be over 30 hours before it melts, even if the top's off. So it lasts for a long time. If you put 1 ice cube in warm water, obviously the ice is going to melt right away. But I get people that ask me that all the time, so it drives me insane. Like, they buy the cup, they're like, man, I put 2 ice cubes in, and then I put lukewarm water in, and it all melted. Like, you lied to me. I'm like, bro, it doesn't matter how good my cup is insulated. That's science. It's not a freezer. It's basically it's a cooler is what it is. But yeah, that's the only thing, man, that drives me crazy. But yeah, man, great for everything. We also personalize them as well, so you could custom engrave your logo on it, and we turn it quick. So for the most part, we do it in 1 to 2 days. So if you want your own custom logo on it, you'd have to email us. But if you just wanted like a name or a quote or something like that, you could actually do it right on our website.
Yeah, and I saw. I mean, you're always posting different bottles and everything with the logos, and they turn out really cool. And I think they would be like nice gifts for like office. People giving stuff away, right? I'm sure people use that as like gifts for
everything, man.
Or something. Everything. Yeah, I mean it's.
Yeah, we've done it for everyone. A lot of supplement companies, but man, we do it for golf tournaments. I mean, I had Ruth Chris hit us up, the restaurant, like, hey, we have a golf tournament coming up. Can we get some bottles? Absolutely. Bacardi, the liquor companies have bought from us as well, but really anybody. I even have lawyers who will buy it, and they'll basically engrave, their business card on there with their phone number, and they'll give it out as a free gift because they know that when people have this, they're going to bring it everywhere. So they're going to bring it to work, and then all their friends are going to be like, hey, is that your lawyer? Let me get his number. Like, oh, okay, here, just take a picture,
Yeah.
So
it works as a good marketing too as well. So.
Oh, absolutely. And I tell people that all the time too. Like, if your logo's on it, people and someone buys it, they're walking around with it, and your logo is it's a walking billboard. Yeah. So it's a great way to do that. And what's cool is that the product's well made. So when people get it, especially as a free gift, they appreciate it. And then they usually take a picture of it too, and they post about it. Yeah. So, when you get something that is cheap and it's cheap, no one's ever going to take a picture of it and be like, hey, look what this company gave me. They're not going to take a picture of a cheap plastic, shaker bottle that's going to last for a week. But if they get a nice shaker, they're like, man, this is badass. Like, this company loves us. And they take a picture and they post on Instagram and tag them. So
Yeah.
Organic. You get that organic reach when you give somebody something that, is actually nice.
Absolutely. And for places like, where you live, where I live here down in Florida, I mean, days like today where it's 100 degrees, it's very hard to keep a cold drink too, right? Like we don't have one yet, and I plan on getting it, but we don't have one yet. But so we have regular bottles, and when you go out, especially here in Florida, when we go out, the two young kids, everybody gets their bottle because you have to have water with you everywhere you go and all that. But within the first half hour, everything's melted, the water's warm, and all that stuff, right? So.
Oh yeah.
Obviously for hot weather places like Texas, California here, it helps even more, right? So,
Florida's a spot. Yeah.
Wanted to kind of go back to a little bit about, football and talk a little bit, just because, as I mentioned to you, I have a big following here in football. And, kind of wanted to ask you a little bit the transition too. So we talked about the transition from off the NFL into the current role that you have, but also going from working from high school to college to then get to the NFL. Obviously, it's a dream of a lot of people, and they have that dream. And if you can kind of walk through what your experience was, but then at the same time, encourage people to do certain things so that they can achieve that dream as well, right?
Yeah, man. So for me, my dream was to get a scholarship. That was for sure. That was one of my goals. Like I said before, I wasn't even the second best in my own family, so it was tough. And coming out of Buffalo, New York, it was really tough because you don't get recruited out of Buffalo, New York. No one wants to go up there, and so it was tough. It was tough for me. So I had to do a lot of things that really got us to that level. One was a speed coach. The second one was lifting, and I've always been the guy that was setting the records in the gym. My first year in college, I was the strongest pound for pound running back on the team as a freshman. So always put that extra work in. But to get to that level, man, it was tough. I actually first committed to the University of Pennsylvania to go Ivy League. And I tell people this all the time. I had a couple scholarships, but they were University of Buffalo and 1AA schools and just weren't great programs. And I wanted to set myself up for the future. So I said, hey, I'll go to Penn. I'll end up paying $200K for 4 years of school, and I'll come out with a lot of debt, but at least I'll be hooked up and I'll have a really good education. So I was going that route, and at the last minute, I actually got a call from the University of Maryland, and they offered me a scholarship. And they offered me pretty much because they had a bunch of guys that didn't make it. They couldn't pass their SATs. They didn't have good enough grades coming out of high school. And then my brother Dan was there, and he was crushing it. And I think he had like a 3.8 GPA, and he was doing really well for them. So I pretty much got offered a scholarship, and they pretty much said, hey, you better come in and have a 4.0, or we're going to be really upset with you. It was kind of how it went down. So at the end of the day, man, I got a Division I scholarship to a really good program because of my grades. That was one of the main factors. So I tell kids this all the time. If you're a really good athlete, you still have to care about your grades. You still have to put that work in for several reasons. One of them is going to help you get the scholarship, because if you're that good, but another guy is that good as well, but he has way better grades, they're going to offer him all day because, you're a huge liability. You might come in and you might be gone the first year. You might be gone the first semester because you can't pass grades. But number two, football isn't just about athletic ability, especially at the pro level. And I tell people this all the time too. I made it to that level because I did all the right things. I had to get through college. You have to get through college 3 years. Well, if you're not doing the grades in high school, you're probably not going to do the grades in college. You're probably not going to make it 3 years. So you better do it then and get good at it, because you're not going to make it through college if you don't, because college is a grind, man. You're all in all day in college, and that's tough. It's a lot tougher than high school. But when you get to that pro level, you also have to learn the playbook. And the playbook isn't, hey, go block that guy in the middle anymore. It's, hey, you better know what defense they're in. You better know if they switch at the last second right before you snap the ball, and you better block the right guy. So to know that, you better be able to learn the playbook, and you better be able to learn the defense. And so once I got to the NFL level, same thing. If they don't trust you and you can't learn it, you're gone. So I'd still, even at that point, I wasn't the most talented, but they could trust me, and that's why I lasted. I tell people all the time, man. But my goal for me, it wasn't even the NFL. I didn't think I even had a chance, because all I heard was it's 1 in a million, 1 in a million, 1 in a million. You better get your grades. And I almost kind of mad that that's all my teachers told me, because I kind of believed it for the most part, until I started finally my junior year. I started having some scouts come in, and they were looking at Rob, but they kept mentioning me, and I was like, nah, they're talking about Rob, and they're like, no, like they're looking at you as well. So that was kind of the first time I even thought I had a chance, and I knew it would be a very small chance for me. So I ended up not getting drafted, went undrafted, but I knew it was a one and done kind of situation, and I had to go all out and do everything I could, and I did, man. And kind of one shot, one opportunity, and I got the job done.
Awesome. And that's cool. And then, just kind of probably to add to what you're saying after, the importance, you're talking about the importance of grades and education and getting a good education. And you can see now, now that you're no longer in the NFL, the importance of that from a different angle probably as well, right?
Absolutely.
You
that don't last. Yeah, man, that does not last either. And that's a great point as well, is that it's over. It's over no matter how good you are.
Yeah.
It's going to be over by the time, I guess if you're Tom Brady, you can play till you're 42, but that's very, very, very rare. I mean, the average career is 2.5 years. So, if you make it 10 years, that's insane. And you're still, you might be 31 years old, 32 years old at that point. So play 10 years, super successful career. You absolutely crush it. You're only 32 years old. So, at that point, you're relying on, your education that you had and kind of everything we went to before. People aren't trying to hire a 32-year-old at that point. Yeah. So it's kind of up to you at that point to get the job done and figure something out. So you're 100% going back on everything you learned. And, man, I don't even think that what you actually learn in college applies. I think the skills that you learn to get through it is what you actually get out of college because, I had an accounting degree. And I couldn't even tell you how to debit or credit anything by the time I was, out of the NFL. You completely forget all that stuff. But what you learned is the hard work and the multitasking and, and how to get it done or how to figure it out, how to solve a problem. And that's really what you get out of college. So I tell people that too, like, it doesn't really matter what your major is. You're going to probably not use any of that information, but what you're going to get out of it is the skills that you learn to get the job done.
All the soft skills, communicating well, having good relationships, forming good relationships, and maintaining them. Right, those are definitely key things that you take it out of college and then you use it for the rest of your life. Right, no matter how old you are, you're going to use that for the rest of your life. So, pretty cool. I want to see here. I know we have some limited time, but I think a question here. I just want to see what the question is. Someone is asking, where can they get the cup?
So iShaker.com is our website where we have everything. I mean, we're on Amazon, stuff like that, pretty much because we have to be, because everyone loves Amazon. But we have a better selection on our site, and it's usually cheaper as well if you go to our website. So iShaker.com. All our social handles are at iShakerBottle, and then my personal handle is right here at Chris Gronkowski on Twitter. So let's see, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all of it, man. I'm everywhere.
Stuff, yeah. And I'll post this video tomorrow too to my Facebook and to YouTube, and then I'll put the link there for iShaker as well, so people can go in and look at the different bottles that you have available as well. So I know you're in a time crush, so I don't want to take too much of your time, much more. I truly appreciate you taking the time and talking to me. I think it's been cool to learn a little bit more about you, about your company, about the products that you have, and also some of the feedback that you gave the potential future students or anything, future players I should say, not current students and future players.
Absolutely.
And hopefully if you come down here to Fort Myers, Naples, hit me up, or
I'll be there, man.
We'll
soon.
Meet up.
I hope I can. I haven't seen my mom. Actually, my last trip I made was to Disney World with my mom, and she came with 5 coolers of food, and it was kind of like, it was awesome, man. So hopefully I get to come back down soon, but that was right before everything shut down. So we'll be back, games for Tampa as well. And
she's not too far from Tampa now too, so she can see Rob play.
Every 2
game.
hours.
It's 2 hours away, I think, right? So.
Yeah, so hopefully, the planes open up, and I got the new baby coming, so it's going to be a little tough for me, but I got to make at least one game, man.
Yeah.
So I'll be down there.
Sounds good, man. Well, I look forward to seeing you, hopefully, if you come down here. And again, I appreciate your time. And, I don't know if you have a message that you want to leave to people that are watching here? Something you want to tell them?
Man, I would just kind of take advantage of the opportunity right now, and it's you're doing a great example of it right now. I know a lot of people are kind of sitting back and waiting for things to open up, and when all this happened, man, it was accelerate. Take this time to really help yourself or help others. And I know a lot of people are kind of down and out, right? Because there's not much they can do, but you can always reach out and build relationships, and that's what I love about what you're doing. And that's why when you hit me up, I'm like, let's do it, man. But that's what it's for. You have extra time, right? Everyone
Yeah.
has extra time now, and these are relationships that you're going to build that will last forever. So even if you can't do anything right now, hey, I still have reached out to so many people and say, hey, can I do a workout for you or with you, or can I provide you something, a meal plan, whatever it is, and it's gonna come back to you at some point. Help others out, they're gonna help you out, bring value. Value's gonna come back. So that's kind of how I try to live my life, man. And I appreciate and love seeing you do it as well.
Awesome. Appreciate it, Bo. Thank you so much. And I'll let you get back to work to doing some morning grading.
Yeah, man. I'm going back.
I just wanna tell my wife, who's probably watching this, that I do love those bottles, and I think it makes for a great Father's Day gift, right? Hint, hint. So
we have some cool Father's Day collections up there, and we're actually we're doing like it's Memorial Day weekend, but we do this all the time. But we did one special edition bottle, but we have a whole military collection where if you buy one, we give one to active military as well.
awesome.
So we average last quarter, we did 2 designs. We did 2 new designs this quarter, but we get about 4 bottles a day is what we're averaging that we donate to active military. So pretty cool. But for this weekend, we have 1 extra one on there. If you just go to military support on our site, and if you buy one, we will donate 1 to active military. So pretty cool as well. But we do have a Father's Day collection too with just some funny sayings, and we got the father, Daddy Shark one up there, like stuff like that. But yeah, if there's anything you need, man, any cool designs, just hit me up.
Man, I can't get that song stuck in my head.
Yeah, man, that's all I listen to over here. So I was like, I know everyone else knows what I'm talking about that has kids.
Yeah.
So I gotta throw this.
It's funny when you have kids, right? Young kids, and then you can kind of relate to people based on what the kids like, right? Because you know that you suffer through the same things. Too, right?
Oh, heck yeah, man! Especially that song.
Yeah.
It was like first time you hear it, you hear it 100 times in a row.
Yep. All right, man. Well, thanks again. Appreciate your time. Keep in touch, and we'll talk.
Awesome, man. Thanks for having me. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Take care, man.